أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي إليه مسائر الخلق وواقب الأمر نحمده على عظيم إحسانه ونير برهانه ونوامر فضل امتنان حمدا يكون لحقه قضاء ولشكره أداء وإلى صوابه موجبا ولحسن مزيده مقربا الصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين شفيع المذنبين راحة للعاشقين والمراد المشتاقين شمس العارفين والسراج السالكين نبي المصباح والعلم صاحب الجود والكرم والله عاصمه وجبرائيل خادمه والبراق مرقبه سدرة المنتهى مقامه كعب قوسين محبوب رب المشرقين والمغربين جد الحسن والحسين مولانا ومولاي الثقلين أبي القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
ثم الصلاة والسلام على جميع أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين المنتخبين المظلومين الذين عذب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
ولعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم منكر فضائلهم غاصب حقوقهم ومراتبهم ومنزلتهم ومقامهم من يومنا هذا إلى تمام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله الحكيم في قرآنه الكريم وهو أصدق القائلين قوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
As much as I stressed yesterday about how much I wanted to finish on time, about how much I wanted to try and be done by 9:30, yesterday I think was possibly the longest. I think in fact it was the longest of all of it. We finished at about 10 o'clock in the evening. I do apologise. I've been where you guys are, listening, sitting for that long. I personally don't like speaking for that long, and I know you guys don't like sitting for that long either. So I do apologise. Inshallah today we'll stick to and we'll stay finished by 9:30 inshallah. Today we also have the Messiah of Hazrat Ali Akbar. It's a Messiah very close to my heart as well, so I wish to go upstairs and listen to it myself. So we'll try our best to make sure we are done on time. Recite Allah salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
And looking at time, especially how long it took yesterday, considering yesterday was meant to be the completion of our discussion on loneliness and isolation, when I looked at this topic, what I initially intended was we look at it for 2 days, loneliness and isolation. But each little part of the topic seems to take one lecture on its own. First, we looked at the different types of isolation. That's one lecture. Albeit, in that lecture, we also had to finish off the discussion on depression. Yesterday's lecture, we looked at some of the causes. Today, inshallah, we'll look at some of the solutions. I intended to also speak about the problem of anxiety. But anxiety in itself is a very complex, difficult issue. And in 45 minutes to look at both isolation and anxiety, it wouldn't be possible. We wouldn't be able to get through it. We wouldn't be able to do justice to either of them. So instead, inshallah, we'll look today with a greater focus on isolation. loneliness. And with that, if there are any questions on anxiety, or because even with loneliness and with depression and the other issues that we've talked about, self-esteem and what have you, because with these there's been parts where we've had to skim over, parts where we've had to rush through. Inshallah, on Thursday, we'll have a Q&A session. We'll sit and we'll have a discussion. Inshallah, if you have any questions left over, you can ask them and we can go over in greater detail and we can look at them in the way that they should be looked at. Give them a bit more importance, a bit more emphasis. But today we wish to look at isolation, finish off this discussion, look at the solution. And we said we wanted to look at it from an Islamic perspective. We wanted to look at how Islam takes care of us, how we're feeling and how we're thinking. How Islam teaches us to deal with these problems. Now, of course, we have ayats of the Quran, we have du'as, things that we recite when we go through these different issues. When we feel lonely, alone, or when we feel depressed, or we feel down, when our self-esteem is suffering, when we feel anxious. There's different Quranic ayats, there's different du'as that we recite at these times. But we wanted to look at the practical steps, the things that come with the Quranic ayats and things that come with the du'as. We wanted to look at what Islam tells us to actually do, apart from recitation of these ayahs and du'as. So today, and as I move forward, I have to be very careful with my words. Because today, I want to look at where the Imams and the Ahlul Bayt, where they struggled with symptoms, or where they dealt with causes of isolation, of depression, of self-esteem. Today we're focusing on isolation, so we'll look at isolation itself. But I must say, we must remember, we don't believe that the Imams suffered from isolation, that they suffered from depression. No. We don't believe that Ahlul Bayt suffered from these issues. We don't believe they suffered from mental health issues, from poor mental health. But if you look at their lives, if you look at what they went through, it is with much less emphasis, or with much greater emphasis rather, the same issues that we're talking about here. When we talk about, especially with loneliness and isolation, when we look at the lives of the Imams and the Ahlul Bayt, we can see that the very same causes that cause us to go through isolation, that cause us to go through loneliness, the ones we spoke about yesterday, those very same causes occur in the lives of the Ahlul Bayt and the Imams. But then why did they not suffer from mental health issues? Why did they not suffer from clinical isolation? This is what I want to have a look at today. What they did in their lives that we should take as advice for when we're dealing with these issues, or in order to prevent these issues, in order to stop these issues occurring in our lives. So the very first that we'll look at, Amir al-Mu'mineen Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam.
اللهم صل على محمد.
We see the life of Imam Ali alayhi salam. At first in Mecca, when he accepted Islam, him, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the rest of the Muslims, they were forced out of Mecca. There was a danger to their lives. There they went to Medina. They were welcomed with open arms. But after Rasulullah passes away, Imam Ali alayhi salam is again targeted. He's again persecuted. And then he moves his capital, when he becomes Khalif, he moves his capital to where? To Kufa. So if we look at this in the three stages of Mecca, Medina and Kufa. First of all, in Mecca, Imam Ali alayhi salam, he was socially outcast. Why? Because he accepted Islam. Him and the others who accepted Islam, they were persecuted. They were rejected by the community, by the society. And when we looked at the different types of isolation, when we looked at the different causes, this matches a few. The one that it most obviously matches is what we call social isolation. And the cause for that was what? When our society, when the people around us, they don't accept us. Another cause for that was what? Rejection. Which Imam Ali alayhi salam and the Muslims of the time, they faced in Mecca. They were rejected by the people of Mecca. They were rejected by the tribe of Quraysh. At this point, Imam Ali alayhi salam then moves his life towards where? To Medina, with the Muhajirin, with the Muslims who travelled. In Medina, Imam Ali alayhi salam, along with the Prophet and the other Muslims, he's welcomed. with open arms. The people of Medina, the Ansar, they welcome the Muhajirin, they make them their brothers. In fact, it's a very famous event. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he takes the Ansar and the Muhajirin and he puts them arm in arm. For each Muslim who has travelled from Medina, he finds them somebody in, for each Muslim, who has travelled from Mecca, he finds them somebody in Medina to be their brother, to take care of him. In fact, we're told that the people of Medina at that time, they split their wealth. Everything they had, they split it with the people who came from Mecca, with the Muslims. So here you wouldn't think Imam Ali alayhi salam suffers from any kind of isolation. You wouldn't think he suffers there. But then when he moves his capital to Kufa, why did that happen? Because again, in Medina, he was rejected. He was not recognized. When he moves to Kufa, now he's in a new place. It's just him, his family, and they are alone. The people around him, they do not know them. The people around him and his family, his companions, those people in Kufa, when he moves his capital there, they aren't his friends who he's been growing up with. They're not the people who he's known since childhood. No, these are new people. So if we look at this stage, we said one thing that a lot of people, for one time, that a lot of people suffer from isolation. And what type of isolation were we talking about? Individual isolation. We said that comes about a lot when people move away, when they start to live alone, when they start to move away from the people they know. So this can be due to social isolation and individual isolation, we can see here. So this is Imam Ali alayhi salam. The three stages of his life where we can see the causes of isolation in his life. But we do not see him become isolated. We do not see him suffer from isolation. Why? What happens? We'll look at that. The second, remember what Ahlul Bayt I want to look at, is Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil. Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil, as you all know the story, and today's lecture, we'll be talking a lot about some very sad moments and very sad times in the lives of the Imams and the Ahlul Bayt. But the Messiah remains the Messiah of Hazrat Ali Akbar at the end. Here we are taking their lives to learn. You see, when we think about the Imams, often we don't know so much about their lives as we do about their deaths. We don't focus so much on how they actually lived their life. See, for Imam Ali alayhi salam, we know a bit more about his life. We know he was a great soldier. We know he was a great judge. We know he was the great Alim. But for the rest of the Imams, we don't focus so much on their actual lives. If you look at the life of Imam Ali alayhi salam, you look at the thing we know about him most, is that he was a great warrior. But see, we're not heading into a battlefield. We're not heading out to war. So what really matters from the life of Imam Ali alayhi salam is this stuff that which we're talking about today. So we should take time out to try and learn about those aspects of the Imam's life that relate more to us, that have more significance for us today in the life that we're in. So Imam Ali alayhi salam now, as a Muslim ibn Aqil, you all know the story. He arrives in Kufa. He's been invited. The letters have come streaming in to Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein alayhi salam sends Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil to Kufa to see if the Muslims' invitations are genuine, if they genuinely care. So Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil goes to Kufa. When he arrives in Kufa though, what does he find? The people are against him. They are against Imam Hussein. And you all know the famous story of when Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil is leading Jamaat Namaz. He starts Namaz, the masjid is full. He finishes Namaz, there are some 10 people behind him. He begins to walk away from the masjid, and one by one, each of those 10 people leave him. This is the story of Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil, a very famous story, and if you want to look at a moment where somebody would feel alone, where they might feel isolated, what greater point is there when you start a journey and you have people around you. You have 10 people with you, according to the narrations, it was around 10 people. But at the end of the journey, as you turn around, you see nobody there. You see nobody there. If you do not feel alone and lonely at that point, where everyone around you has abandoned you, the people who claim to be your friends, the people who claim to be your supporters, we said we focus very much on this social network, our friends, our family, our support network. But see, when that support network right in front of you falls through, we'll talk later on today about seeing that support network, about trying to look for that support network even when it looks like it's not there. when our friends, they don't make themselves open to us, when we feel like the people around us might not actually care. This is the people of Kufa telling Muslim ibn Aqil they don't care. They don't care for his life. It's them showing him, abandoning him. If he does not feel loneliness at this point, what else would he feel? If he does not feel isolated at this point, what else would he feel? But why do we say he did not suffer from clinical isolation? Why did he not suffer from the mental health issue of isolation? He might have felt alone in that moment, but we don't say he suffered mentally. This was Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil. And the third, and possibly the most important, is Imam Ali ibn Hussein, Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam. Now, without going into Messiah, if we look at the life of Imam Zayn al-Abidin, when a man has a father like Imam Hussein alayhi salam, when a man has brothers like Ali Akbar, when he has cousins like Muhammad, Qasim, when he has an uncle like Abu Fadl Abbas, when he has a little sister like Sakina, when you lose all of that, when you lose a family member, it's painful. But if you look at the Ahlul Bayt, if you look at the status of these people, Imam Hussein alayhi salam used to bring a smile to the faces of Imam Ali and Rasulullah, who used to go through so much rejection, who used to go through so much difficulty day in, day out, but they'd see the face of Imam Hussein and they would smile. Imam Zayn al-Abidin loses a father like that. He lost a sister like Bibi Sakina, who Imam Hussein alayhi salam famously said, "A house without Sakina for me is not worth living in. There is no joy in a house without Sakina." To lose a little sister like that, to lose an uncle like Abu Fadl Abbas, the Lord of loyalty, the master of swordsmanship, a great warrior, a great soldier, a loyal uncle, a humble uncle, an alim, a scholar. Many people don't know Abbas was a great scholar of his time. You think if he grew up with Imam Ali alayhi salam as his Imam, and then Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, Abbas wouldn't be amongst the most learned people of his time. He was a great alim, a great scholar. These are things we should focus on. We should look at these parts of the lives of the Ahlul Bayt, of the A'immah. Hazrat Abbas, to lose an uncle like him. I won't go into Messiah right now. Imam Zayn al-Abidin, we see in his life, he lost all these great personalities. And he went through so much in Kufa and Sham. We said one key feeling when we're isolated, or one key feeling that can bring about isolation is a feeling of helplessness. You think Mullah Sajjad didn't have that feeling of helplessness through Kufa, through Sham? I won't go through the Messiah, but you know yourself what happened. You know yourself what he went through. You think he did not feel the pain of all these things? Of course he did. And the proof for this is if the Ahlul Bayt did not feel the pain of all these tragedies, then it means that it was not special that Imam Ali gave his life in sajda. It is not special that Imam Zayn al-Abidin went through all this. It would have been normal. If he does not feel the pain from it, if it does not affect him in some way or another, then it would not be special. It would not be something worth us sitting here and remembering year in, year out, if it was something normal for him. If it was something that didn't hurt him in any way, shape or form. These are the three personalities I was focused on today. But again, Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he does not suffer from clinical isolation. He does not suffer from the mental health problems that come with all those causes that were in his life, all those tragedies that were in his life. And this is what I want to look at now. Why did these three personalities not suffer? And with them will come three key solutions in fighting isolation, or preventing it, however it may be. Either to bring yourself out of isolation once you are suffering, or to prevent it before it happens. Recite aloud to Allah Muhammad wa First we'll start with Amir al-Mu'min, Imam Ali alayhi salam. He suffered. We've been through his suffering, now we look at the solution, what he did. We know Imam Ali alayhi salam was a great warrior. We know he was a great judge. We know he was a great alim. We know all these things about Imam Ali. And one thing that we also know is Imam Ali alayhi salam was renowned after his death, albeit, but he was renowned for his work of charity. with social work, for the orphans, for the poor. Now see, this is the point I want to focus on here. This is the point I want to look at. Imam Ali alayhi Islam's charity work. One key problem that people face when they're isolated. One thing that they struggle with when they're isolated, when they suffer from isolation, is the feeling that they do not have any connection with the world around them. Is the feeling that the world around them is not affected by them. We spoke about this beforehand. We spoke about this in some of the previous lectures. When you feel like you have no effect on the world around you, the world around you has no effect on you. If I was here, it would make no difference to those around me. If I was here, it would have no effect on the people around me. See, this feeling, and it's very common, it's a feeling that a lot of people go through, a sentiment that a lot of people feel at some point or another. When they think that their lives have no effect on the people around them, of course it makes them feel isolated. It makes them feel like they're in a bubble. The rest of the world is doing its own thing and they're doing their own thing. If I come to Al-Qa'im today, or if I don't, it makes no difference to anybody else. If I wake up today or if I don't, it makes no difference to anybody else. This sentiment, this feeling, it's one that a lot of people go through, especially growing up here. Now, with this feeling, with this sentiment, you can see how it brings about isolation. Now, when we bring about the isolation, how do we deal with it? See, if I feel like my life has no effect on the lives of those around me, on the lives of people around me, if I feel like my life does not change the life of anybody around me in any way, shape or form, if I want to combat that feeling, if I want to get past that feeling, what should I do? I should look at the effect I have on other people. I should try and find the effects I have on other people. And if you want to see very clearly the effect, or if you want to see very clearly your life affecting the lives of other people, affecting the lives of those around you, then the best thing to do is engage in charity work, social work. And it's taught us by modern psychology as well today. It tells us that when you do charity work, when you work for other people, what does that do? You can see, and when we talk about charity work, there's different kinds. In this case, the best scenario or the best way to do charity work is not necessarily to give money, to give a donation, rather to actually go out, to give your time. We find it's better in these cases. To give your effort. See, when you see the effect on somebody, when you see it in front of you, the effect you're having on the life of somebody else, then you remove yourself from that bubble. You remove that bubble from your mind, that thing, that thought that I'm in a bubble. What I do doesn't affect the people around me. Because when you see yourself bring a smile to the face of somebody else, when you see somebody else helped by your actions directly in front of you, then it's not possible for you to think, I have no effect on this person. Of course, as I say this, there is a sentiment that sometimes comes into the minds of other people. And it's a sentiment that is repeated. A lot of people think, well, if it wasn't me, then somebody else would have done it. But when you actually go, when you see that smile on the person's face, when you actually help someone, for instance, in London, in Holborn, every Friday there's a gathering of people who are homeless, people who have nowhere to go at night. And what happens is people from different organisations or individuals, they bring food. They come, they bring food, and everybody, they line up, and one by one they're given the food. As you give the people the food, they're happy. But the point where you really see the effect you have on other people is afterwards, where everybody, just on the corner of that park, everybody sits down and they talk to the people. They learn about their lives. I remember I was there once and I sat down with a man who was an ex-war veteran. He now found himself without a home. He had a pet dog. He said that every night, any little scraps of food he could get, he used to give to his dog. And he would look forward to this Friday every week. And I said to him, because you're able to feed your dog and yourself. He said, no. Because on this Friday, people come and they sit and they listen to me. They listen to what I have to say. They actually take time out to spend time with me. And we spoke for a long time. Told him about myself. He told me about his life. And at the end of it, I couldn't help but feel that today, I've genuinely made a difference. It's what that man said to me. He said he waits every week for that Friday. The whole week he's waiting for that one moment. Not for the food, which would be the obvious thing. No, but for the moment for somebody to come and talk to him, to listen to him, what does this do? That form of charity work, it brings about in yourself a feeling of happiness. It brings about in yourself a feeling that you've helped somebody, you've changed something for somebody, and you can't deny it because you see it in front of you. And for that other person, it helps them too. For that other person, it does, it brings them a relief, it brings them a happiness. And we said that naturally we are inclined that when we help somebody else, it helps us. Different ways. It affects people in different ways, different people in different manners, but it has an effect. This was Imam Ali alayhi salam renouncing his charity work. And if we want to look at the importance of charity in Islam, you don't have to go very far. It's wajib, zakat, khums, things that we often overlook, but they're very important. We're told to give charity, and in fact, across the globe, the biggest donators to charity are the Muslim people. If you look at communities and if you look at people, the biggest donators to charity are Muslims. But remember, charity doesn't stop with the sofa box. It doesn't stop with your standing order, no. Go and take time out. Spend time with people. See in front of your own eyes the effect you actually have on the lives of those around you. This is one of the great cures for isolation, and one that many people have found to be a success. Many people speak of how it helps them. Besides Allah, salawat ala Muhammad wa ala The second, if you look at Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil. Now, Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil, he did not live for very long after he was abandoned in Kufa. We know this. But what kept him going? Why did he not suffer from mental health issues? His children were separated from him, the people had abandoned him. By all means, he should have suffered, but why did he not? Why did he not struggle with the mental health issue, the state of isolation? As Muslim ibn Aqil, he had one very important thing. He had his purpose in mind. We spoke about this a few days ago, I'll speak about it again. It's very important. Purpose. He knew why he was in cover. He knew what he had to do there. He knew if these people leave me or if they stay with me, it does not affect my purpose. It does not affect what I'm doing in Karbala, it does not affect what I'm doing in this life. If I give my life, why am I giving my life? He knows. He has that purpose, he has that understanding of why he is doing it. And it's why it's very important. Because a lot of the times when we don't know why we're doing something, it's very difficult to do it. It's very difficult to actually want to do it, to get on with it. And that becomes a very big difficulty when we don't know why we're living this life. We don't know why we're getting up every morning. We don't know why we're getting out of bed, why we're going to work, why we're going to school, why we live our everyday life. And we don't know why. It's very difficult to convince ourselves that it's worth getting up. It's very difficult to convince ourselves that we should be getting up, we should be going about our daily life. Take me, for instance. I'm currently in Iran. Now, before I start studying what I want to study, what I went there to study, which is Islamic psychology, I have to study Farsi. Now, I know the books are in Farsi. I know everybody there speaks Farsi. I know the course is taught in Farsi, the language which is spoken in Iran. But after about a month and a half of learning it, or in fact, right from the start, to be fair, because when you learn a new language, think back to when you learned English. When did you learn English? In nursery, reception, before that. What did you learn? You learned the alphabet. You learned how to say certain sounds. You learned that A sounds like A and B sounds like B. And me, at 20 years old, I had to do this in Farsi. I used to sit in class every single day and we used to repeat the alphabet for about 5 hours, every single day. I'm not going to go through the alphabet, I've done it enough. We used to sit every single day and I used to think to myself, I'm here to learn psychology. I'm here to learn about Islam. I'm not here to learn the alphabet. I'm not here to learn Farsi. I know I need it, but this isn't what I'm here for. I don't want to do this. This isn't the purpose of me being in Iran. And when I lost that purpose, it became very, very difficult to wake up early morning to go to class. Classes started at 8 a.m. every morning, 6 days a week. As it is, I'm used to 5-day weeks, Monday to Friday. Over there, everything's different. Their week doesn't even go from Monday to Sunday. Their week goes from Saturday to Friday. See, I couldn't see why I was doing it. I knew it's something I just have to get on with, but I couldn't see why I was learning Farsi. This wasn't my purpose of being in Iran. So 6 days a week, in a calendar that's already switched up for me. I'm used to resting on a Saturday and a Sunday, but now I'm getting up at 8 a.m. Or rather, I'm getting up at 7:30, getting ready for lessons. And I was new in Iran. It was very hot. It was difficult to sleep at night. So I'd sleep late, and now 7 a.m. comes round. I have to find a way to get myself out of bed to go and say the alphabet for 5 hours. See, if I had a purpose of learning Farsi, I would get up every day just like that. Sure, you have off days, but it'd be a lot easier for me to go, convince myself, to motivate myself every single morning to get up and to go. But I thought to myself, this isn't my purpose, this isn't what I'm here for. After a while, I had a rethink. I thought to myself again, and I had to convince myself that no, my purpose right now is just Farsi. Psychology comes later. My purpose right now is Farsi. This purpose that Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil had, it kept him going. It kept him mentally safe, kept him mentally healthy. And I've said it before and I'll mention it again. This formula for happiness, and it's not something I've come up with. It's not psychologists, because at the time where this formula was actually thought of, this formula for happiness, at that time psychology wasn't an established science. At that point it was physiologists and biologists and philosophers who used to mix their interests. And the formula we said for happiness, or rather that they said for happiness, was pleasure, short little things that are worth being happy about, the absence of displeasure, which is self-explanatory, an overall view of contentment about our life. We look at our life and we think it's good. So pleasure plus displeasure plus overall view of contentment plus purpose equals happiness. We need this purpose. We need it. As Muslim ibn Aqil, he had that purpose. He had that. He understood why he was there. He understood what he was doing. And moving swiftly on, we'll come to Imam Zayn al-Abidin. Now we think of Imam Zayn al-Abidin, especially after Karbala, we often think of somebody who spent all his time in sajda, all his time in the house, all his time doing ibadah, spent all his time alone. But in fact, this is the opposite of the truth. Imam Zayn al-Abidin, after Karbala, in fact, he spent very little time alone. He spent very little time isolated. So what did he do? Imam Zayn al-Abidin used to work on different social projects. He used to keep himself busy, keep his mind busy. One of his biggest projects was working with slaves. Now at the time, the rulers of the time, they thought, we can leave him, he's busy working with slaves, it's not important. They thought he was wasting his time. In actual fact, what he was doing is he would buy slaves, free them, and then he would teach them to read and write. He would teach them the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt. He would teach them what happened in Karbala. And it's thanks to those very same slaves who were freed that today we know about Karbala. We know about the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt. Why? Because the tyrants and the rulers of the time, they didn't pay any attention to them. They didn't find them important. But if we look at what he did, in terms of loneliness, in terms of isolation, Imam Zayn al-Abidin did not allow himself to sit idly. He did not allow himself to become isolated physically. He kept himself busy, he kept his mind busy, he kept it working. He also kept himself around other people. Now we've said it again and again, you can be sitting in a crowd of other people and still feel alone, and still feel lonely, it's true. But what was he doing? He was teaching them. He was having an impact on their lives, an impact he could see. He kept himself busy. If we look at when these thoughts of loneliness, if we look at when these negative thoughts and feelings impact us most, when is it? It's at night, when we're not doing anything. When the world around us is silent, when it's just us and our thoughts. Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he keeps his mind busy. He keeps himself working with these slaves especially. This is the third thing, stay active and not allowing yourself to be physically isolated. So, 4 key points that we mentioned. First is charity work. It's a tried and tested solution. And of course there might be somebody who it doesn't work for. But for the majority of people, for a large number of people, it's been found to work. Second, your purpose. Figure out what your purpose is. While you're trying to figure out your purpose in the long run, in life, figure out what your purpose is for each and every day. Set yourself your timetable, your schedule. Give yourself little targets, little things you can achieve in that day. Once you do this, you have a purpose for each day, for each little time bomb in your day. Second thing is purpose. Charity work, purpose, and then lastly we have staying active and not isolating yourself. These are from the lives of the A'imma. Before we go on, I'll just mention a few points. I'll mention them and move on to the side. Inshallah, we will finish by 9:30, at least 9:35 today, inshallah. You have to understand your loneliness. If you're going through loneliness, understand what it is, learn about it. When you learn about it, you learn about the devices you've been given to deal with it. You learn about what it is. You learn about its realities and its absences. Or rather, I'll take that back. You don't learn about its realities. I'll say why in a moment. But you learn about what you're going through. You also learn about how many other people are struggling with it. Lots of people have started looking into their loneliness, and once they start looking into their loneliness, they find a support system. They realize how many other people are also alone. They realize in their loneliness they're not alone. So learn, study about your loneliness. Try and find out about it. The second thing, the reason I said you don't find out about your realities is because, and this is something that you have to convince yourself, you have to teach yourself. I can't just tell you and you believe it. But you have to understand that your loneliness is not a reality. What does that mean? I'm not trying to be dismissive, I'm not trying to be flippant. But your loneliness is not a reality. You are not alone. Your life has an effect on the lives of those around you. Your life has an effect on those people who care about you. We spoke about this the other day. I won't go into it. And you might feel like there's nobody around you who cares. And often it's difficult to find those people. Often it's difficult to see who does care and who doesn't care. Often it's difficult to actually see who cares about us. See, sometimes we can't find those people. Sometimes when we look around us, we don't see anybody who can alleviate our loneliness, who can alleviate our struggles and our difficulties. But if you look around you, if you can't find somebody in your friends, in your family, in your community, look to professionals, look elsewhere. You'll find support. You'll find people who are willing to help you. People who have donated their lives to helping people like you while you're struggling. You can go to a GP, you can talk to a counsellor. Oh, you can talk to me. Something I'm studying, something I've worked with. I'm available. Your ulama, if you feel comfortable talking to them, talk to them, speak to them. There are people. If you can't see them around you, in your community, in your family, in your friends, there's still other people you can turn to as well. There's still other people who can help you as well. So remember that. Your loneliness, your isolation, it's not a reality. You aren't alone. There are people who care about you, there are people whose lives are affected by you. And with this, we'll conclude our discussion on loneliness. Inshallah, over these past few days, the past 10 days, from then till now, somebody may have benefited. And again, I said at the start of the lecture series, I'll say it one more time. See, when we come to these majalis, we often hear about the importance of majalis, how important it is to be sitting here. Now, so you guys all already know about the importance of majalis. Why? You're here. If you didn't know about the importance of majlises, you would be sitting. So what's the point in me telling you? The point then would be for you to go out and tell other people what you learn. See, these majalises, they don't finish when the Messiah finishes. They don't finish when you leave Al-Qaim, when you leave the center, when you leave the mosque. No. Everything you learn is for you to pass on. They say every world has a tax. There's a tax on everything. Like you have a tax on money. And they say the tax on knowledge is to give that knowledge out, is to teach. So everything you learn here today, you've learned over the past 10 days. Everything we've spoken about taking care of people, about how to be with our parents, with our family, with our friends, with our community, about how to take care of ourselves. Use it. Use it for yourself, use it for those around you. And teach the people around you. If you are suffering, help yourself. If you are not, help the others around you. inshallah, somebody will be helped by each and every one of us. Inshallah, each and every one of us here will become a support for somebody in our lives. Whether that's preventative, whether that means that we support people to stop them falling into this decline of mental health or mental illness, or whether that's support for somebody who is struggling, where we can bring them back to a state of psychological health and well-being. Recite salawat ala Muhammad wa I'd like to thank the committee of Quaim. I'd like to thank you guys for coming, for giving me this opportunity. Inshallah, you guys have learned something, and I know I have as well. But now, tonight is the night of Shab Ashura. If I look back at my lectures, I don't think a single night has gone past where in the Masa'ib I've not spoken about this night. I've not spoken about Shab Ashura, the night where Imam Hussein alayhi salam gathers his companions, where he puts out the candle, where he tells each and every one of his companions to go. The night when Sayyida Zainab is with Anna Muhammad, telling them they should be amongst the first to give their lives. The night when Ibn Mufarwa is sitting with Hazrat Qasim, telling him, Qasim, tomorrow you have to represent your father, Hassan. The night where every woman is sitting with her brothers. The night where every woman is sitting with her father, with her children. But Allah, if you look at the same time tomorrow, where will those fathers be? Where are those brothers? Where are those children? Where is Abbas to guard Zainab? Where is Asghar for his cradle to be cradled? Where are Anna and Muhammad to protect their mother from shiver? Where are these very same men tomorrow night? It's not long left now, Zadar. Tonight, you remember Hazrat Ali al-Akbar. See, when every shaheed came to Imam Hussein alayhi salam and asked them for permission, Imam Hussein at first, he turned them away. He said, no, not yet. Especially from the family of Ahlul Bayt. Hazrat Ali Akbar is the single shaheed who, as soon as he comes to Imam Hussein says, go, my son. There are a few stories about the Shahada, about the tragedy of Hazrat Ali Akbar that I wish to narrate to you. I'll take you to the time of the sixth Imam. Imam Ja'far Sadiq is approached by somebody and the man asks him, Ya Imam, tell me this. What is the greatest happiness in a father's life? Imam Ja'far Sadiq says the greatest happiness of a father's life is when he sees his son grown up. Just seeing his son walking, talking, smiling, this brings about the greatest happiness a father can feel. The man then asks the Imam, tell me what is the greatest sadness in a father's life? At this point, Imam Ja'far Sadiq does not reply. Instead, he stands up, he turns towards Karbala and he calls out, As-salamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. He then turns back to the man, he says the greatest sadness of a father's life is when he has to pick up the janazah of his own young son. In the streets of Kufa, when the Ahlul Bayt, when the women and children were being paraded, there's a time where they come through a tribe, or they come through a family of Christians. At this point, one of the Christian women sees the head of Hazrat Ali Akbar and she calls out, oh Lord, I hope the mother of this young man is not alive. Bibi Layla, she then turns to the woman and she says, what has the mother of this young man done to you? Why do you make such a horrible dua? The woman says, I look at this young man's face and I feel my heart wrenching. I feel my soul leaving my body. I cannot imagine what must go through the mother of this young man. To see him killed in such a way, to see his head up on the stairs. This is Hazrat Ali Akbar on the journey towards Karbala. And this is an important point to remember. It's a very important thing to remember. Hazrat Ali Akbar here, he sums up the way every shaheed fought their battle. As they are traveling, at one point, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he is traveling with Hazrat Ali Akbar by his side. They are going towards Karbala. At one point, Imam Hussein stops, looks up at the sky and calls out, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Hazrat Ali Akbar asked him, Father, why have you said this? Why here do you recite this ayah? Imam Hussein says, from the heavens I can hear a cry that says, Hussein's army is marching towards death, and what death is running towards the army of Hussein. Akbar, the time is very near. We will be lying on the plains of Karbala. We will have given our lives. Hazrat Ali Akbar then asked him, Oh Father, tell me this. Are we on the right path? Are we on the path of haqq, on the path of truth? Imam Hussein says, of course, Akbar. Of course we are on the path of truth. Hazrat Ali Akbar then says those famous lines. It sums up the way every shaheed fought their battle. The way every shaheed gave their life. Hazrat Ali Akbar says, Oh Father, if we are on the right path, then it does not matter whether we march towards death or whether death marches towards us. And wallah, if you look at the battle of Karbala, it was not death which came to these shuhada, it was these shuhada who went to death. The night comes, Shabi Ashur, the women prepare their men, the night goes in ibadah, and then comes the morning of Subh Ashur, the morning of Ashura, the 10th Muharram arrives. There was a muazzin in the camp of Imam Hussein alayhi salam who every day would give the azan. But on this morning, Imam Hussein, before azan is read, he comes forward and he says, Today my Akbar will give the azan. Today I'm missing my grandfather very much. Today Akbar will give the azan. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he's remembering his grandfather Rasulullah. Akbar is the spitting image of Rasulullah, not only in the way he looks, but in the way he walks, in the way he talks, in the way he recites Adhan. Mawla Hussein is giving a chance to the enemies of Ahlul Bayt. He's giving a chance to the armies of Yazid. There are people there who are old. There are people there who have seen Rasulullah. They have seen his time. He's giving them an opportunity. Look one last time. Listen one last time who you are fighting against. Here Hazrat Ali Akbar starts the adhan. Here the women and children begin weeping. Namaz takes place. The battle begins. One by one, the soldiers of Imam Hussein give their lives. There comes a time where Hazrat Ali Akbar comes to Imam Hussein. He says to his father, he says, do I have permission now to go and give my life? Do I have permission now to go and make my sacrifice? I said, for every shaheed, Imam Hussein, he said, not yet. He said, wait, Hur, you are my guest. Wait, you have only just arrived. Oh Muhammad, no, oh Muhammad, you must wait. There are others who will give their lives. Qasim, you are the son of my brother Hassan. I cannot let you go yet. Abbas, you are the leader of my army. I cannot let you go yet. But as Hazrat Ali Akbar asked, when Hazrat Ali Akbar comes to get permission, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he turns towards Medina and he calls out, Ya Rasulullah, I am now sending your spitting image. I am now sending he who looks like you, who walks like you, who talks like you. Rasulullah, I am sending my Akbar. Hazrat Ali Akbar understands. Imam Hussein alayhi salam says, Akbar, you have my permission, but do one thing first. Go and get permission from your mother. Hazrat Ali Akbar goes very quickly. He says to Bibi Layla, as he enters the tent, he sees Bibi Layla on the musalla. He says to her, Mother, namaz has already taken place. Why are you here on this musalla? Why do you sit here? What namaz are you reading now? She says, Akbar, I am waiting for when your body comes back, I will do sajda shukr. I am waiting here for that time. Hazrat Ali Akbar, he looks at her, he says, Mother, I was wondering, how do I come and tell my mother that I'm going to the battlefield, that I'm going to give my life, but you've made it so easy for me. Hazrat Ali Akbar returns quickly to Imam Hussein. He says, I've gotten permission from my mother. Imam Hussein looks at Akbar and he says, Akbar, you've gotten permission from the mother who gave birth to you, but what about the one who raised you for 18 years? What about Sayyidah Zainab and Awliya Khatun? You see, Hazrat Ali Akbar was raised by Sayyidah Zainab. His food, his clothes, his shelter, everything was done by Bibi Zainab. Hazrat Ali Akbar now walks back and forth outside the tent of Bibi Zainab and Awliya Khatun. How will he go to Sayyidah Zainab and ask her? There are two narrations. There are two narrations about how Hazrat Ali Akbar gets his permission. The first narration, he thinks and he thinks and he thinks until he finally finds a solution. He walks into the tent of Sayyidah Zainab and he says, Auntie Zainab, I have a question for you. Something has been playing on my mind. She says, what is your question? He says, who is more important, you or Sayyida Zahra? Bibi Zainab says, Akbar, all these years I have raised you, and today you're asking a question like this? Of course, Zahra has a great status. Zahra is much greater than Sayyida Zainab. Hazrat Ali Akbar, according to one narration, then says, Auntie Zainab, if this is the case, then let your son go and give his life for the son of Sayyida Zahra. Let Akbar go and give his sacrifice. Bibi Zainab, she says to him, Akbar, had you asked in any other way, I do not know how I would have accepted, but you've asked in this way, so Akbar, go. You may go and give your life. The other narration is that the moment Hazrat Ali Akbar walks into the tent of Sayyida Zainab, she can see he wishes to say something. She can see he wishes to ask something. She looks at him and says, Akbar. This is the second narration. She looks at him and says, Akbar, why has your face lost all its color? Akbar, why do you stand there so silently? Akbar, I understand why you are here. I understand what time has come upon us, Akbar. Akbar, go, give your life. You have my permission. We hear from the historians in Karbala that of all the shuhada, of all the shaheed in the camp of Imam Hussein, the army of Yazid, they would stand and they would wait as the curtain of the tent would be raised and the shaheed would come out to the battlefield. They say they did not have to wait for any shaheed as long as they waited for Ali Akbar. Why? They say every time Hazrat Ali Akbar tried to leave the tent, the women had gathered around him. He said his farewells. He turns to leave the tent. He is now ready for battle. He goes to leave the tent. He lifts the curtain of the tent, but somebody grabs his abba from the bottom and pulls it back. They pull it back. They say up to 40 times according to some narrations. According to some it was up to 18 times. They say Hazrat Ali Akbar, he went to open the curtain and he was pulled back. Nobody was in that camp. We do not know who it was pulling back Hazrat Ali Akbar, but we're told one thing was said again and again. At this point, remember, Hazrat Abbas is gone, Qasim is gone, Aun is gone, Muhammad is gone, Habib is gone, Hur is gone. We are told Hazrat Ali Akbar was asked one question every time he was pulled back. We're told he was asked, Akbar, just look, who are you leaving us with? Whose protection are you leaving us in? Are you leaving us alone in Karbala? I do not know who asked this, but one thing plays on my mind. If it had been somebody older, they would have grabbed him by the shoulders. But according to the narrations, it was the bottom of Hazrat Ali Akbar's abba that was tugged. It tells me it was only young Sakina calling on her brother saying, Akbar, my uncle Abbas has left me. Our Muhammad has left. Everybody has left. Who are you leaving us with, Akbar? They say every time he was pulled back, except for the very last time where he tries to leave the tent. He opens the curtain of the tent and this time nobody pulls him back. Instead, he hears a voice coming from one side of the tent. A voice calling out, Akbar, will you leave without saying goodbye to Sajjad? Will you leave without saying goodbye to your brother? Hazrat Ali Akbar, he rushes over to Imam Zain al-Abidin. He takes him by his hands. He hugs him, he holds him close. These are two brothers saying farewell for the last time. What does Hazrat Ali Akbar say to Mawla Sajjad? Hazrat Ali Akbar was very close with his sister Fatima Sughra. At this point, according to the narrations, it is said that Hazrat Ali Akbar, he holds Imam Sajjad and he says, Sajjad. He says, brother Sajjad, will you do one thing for me? When you go back to Medina, tell Sughra I did not forget. I made a promise to Sughra I would return. Tell Sughra I remember my promise. But what can I do? Hussein is alone in Karbala. What can I do? Everybody has left Hussein. Hazrat Ali Akbar, he leaves the tent. For every single shaheed, it was known that Hazrat Abbas would mount them onto their horse. Hazrat Abbas would help them onto their horse, but now Abbas remains no more. It was known Abbas would send them into the battlefield, Imam Hussein would bring them back. But now when it is time for Asghar to give his life, Abbas is lying by the Quran. Imam Hussein gets Hazrat Ali Akbar, he mounts him on top of the horse. It is said at this point, Imam Hussein looks at Hazrat Ali Akbar, he said, Akbar, before in Medina, when I would mount my horse, you would come and you would help me get upon the horse. Now, Akbar, look, it is your old father helping you up. Hazrat Ali Akbar, he mounts his horse. He starts to ride towards the battlefield. But as he rides, you can hear footsteps coming behind. Instead, Hazrat Ali Akbar begins to speed his horse up. He hears the footsteps behind him speed up. At one point he stops. He turns around and what does he see? He sees Hussein running after Akbar. Hazrat Ali Akbar, he looks at his father Hussein. He says, Father, you have just given me permission. You have just given me permission. Have you taken back your permission? Do you not wish for me to go to the battlefield? At this point, what Imam Hussein says, I cannot understand it. At this point, what Imam Hussein says, it is not a reply that you would expect. He does not say to Akbar, Akbar, no, you still have my permission. He does not say, Akbar, go. Instead, he looks at Akbar and says, Akbar, I wish you had a young son so you would know what I am feeling right now. I wish you had a young son so you would say off to the battlefield. Hazrat Ali Akbar looks at Imam Hussein. He says, Father, if you keep rushing behind me, I will not be able to go out to the battlefield. I will not be able to give this sacrifice. Imam Hussein says, Khair Ali Akbar, I will stay here, but just do one thing for me. As you go to the battlefield, until you reach the battlefield, keep turning around and looking towards me. Every few steps, I just want to see your face for one last time. As long as I can, I want to see your face, Akbar. Hazrat Ali Akbar, he rides towards the battlefield. He keeps looking back towards his father. At one point, he enters the battlefield. Hazrat Ali Akbar, he descends upon the armies of Yazid. He descends upon the soldiers of Yazid. He fights a valiant battle. He fights a brave battle. This is the nephew of Abbas, the grandson of Haydar. He goes out into the battlefield. He shows his blood is running through his veins. At one point, Hazrat Ali Akbar turns around and returns to the camp. He comes to Mawla Hussein. He comes to Mawla Hussein and he says, Father, did you see my battle? Did you see how I fought the enemies of Islam? Imam Hussein says, yes, Akbar. You fought a great battle. You fought a brilliant battle. Hazrat Ali Akbar then looks at Imam Hussein and says, Father, I will finish off this whole army of Yazid if I could just get 2 drops of water. If I could get 2 drops of water, I would finish off this army of Yazid. Instead, at this point, Imam Hussein looks towards the skies. He calls out, Ya Khuda, oh Allah, what time has come upon Hussein? His son makes a dying wish. He cannot fulfill it. Hussein does not have even 2 drops of water to give to Akbar. He says to Akbar, Akbar, feel my tongue. Akbar, feel my tongue. Hazrat Ali Akbar, he feels the tongue of Imam Hussein. Immediately he pulls back. Imam Hussein says, Akbar, what's happened? Hazrat Ali Akbar looks at Imam Hussein. He says, Father, your mouth is drier than mine. Imam Hussein, he looks at Akbar. He says, Akbar, I do not have water, but know this. Very soon your thirst will have ended. Very soon your hunger will be finished. Very soon my father Ali will give you water from the fountain of Kawthar. As Ali Akbar turns around, he rides out to the battlefield. It's line of Hussein. It's one line. If you understand, if you try and picture in your mind what I'm about to say, try and imagine what I'm about to say. Here, Hazrat Ali Akbar, he mounts his horse again to go back into the battlefield. Hazrat Ali Akbar mounts his horse. Imam Hussein goes and stands upon a small mound in Karbala. At the camps, Sayyidah Zainab stands at the entrance to the tent looking out at Imam Hussein. Here, Bibi Layla is on the Musalla looking at Bibi Zainab. Hazrat Ali Akbar is on the horse. Imam Hussein watches Ali Akbar. Bibi Zainab is at the tent. Bibi Zainab watches Imam Hussein. Bibi Layla is inside the tent. She watches Bibi Zainab. Here Hazrat Ali Akbar goes into the battlefield. I will make it short. Here Hazrat Ali Akbar drops from his horse. Here Imam Hussein falls from the hill. Here Sayyidah Zainab drops to the floor. Here Layla drops into sajda. if you can imagine the scene in Karbala. Mawla Hussein, he mounts his horse. Rather, no, this is a mistake. Mawla Hussein did not mount his horse. For every shaheed, he went with Zuljanah. It is his famous words at the time of Asr. When Mawla Hussein last went to the battlefield, when he went to fight his own war, what does he say to Zuljanah? We find he says to Zuljanah, Zuljanah, all day you have helped me bring back bodies from the battlefield. This time, Zuljanah, simply take Hussein to the battlefield. You will not have to bring me back. But there was one shaheed, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, when Hazrat Ali Akbar falls from his horse, when he calls out, Ilayya, Ilayya, Ya Abati, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he does not think to mount Zuljanah. He does not have time to get on his horse. Imam Hussein rushes into the battlefield. Here he falls. Here he gets up. He stumbles to the left. He stumbles to the right. All the while calling out, Akbar. Akbar, call out to your father. I have lost my vision. I cannot see Akbar. Call out to me so I know where you are. Imam Hussein, he arrives at the body of Hazrat Ali Akbar. It is said at this point, Hazrat Ali Akbar, he is still alive. He is still breathing. He says at this point, Imam Hussein looks at Akbar. He says, Akbar, I could not give you water, but tell me, is there one final thing your father can do? Is there anything left your father can do for you? Give me one last wish that I may be able to fulfill. Hazrat Ali Akbar looks up at Imam Hussein. It is said he looks up at Imam Hussein and he says, Father, if just one last time I could see Fatima Sughra. If I could see my sister one last time. Imam Hussein, he puts his hand forward. He says, Akbar, look between my two fingers. Look between my two fingers. As he looks between the fingers of Imam Hussein, he sees Medina. He sees Masjidul Nabawi. He does not find Sughra there. He sees his house. He does not find Sughra there. At one point, Hazrat Ali Akbar, he begins to scream. He begins to weep and cry on the battlefield of Karbala. Imam Hussein pulls his hand back. He says, Akbar, tell me, what is it you saw? Why do you cry like this? He says, Father, until now, Sughra is still sitting at the same place where we left her from. She is still sitting at the same place where I said goodbye to her. Hazrat Ali Akbar, he looks up at his father. He starts crying, he starts weeping. Imam Hussein, he says to Hazrat Ali Akbar, he says, Akbar, I wish to take your body back to the tents. You are still alive. He bends down, Imam Hussein, look. Imam Hussein, alayhi salam, he bends down. He puts one hand under the legs of Hazrat Ali Akbar, one hand behind his back. Imam Hussein goes to lift his son, mother. Imam Hussein goes to lift his son, but he cannot. Here an old father, here a young man. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he goes to lift Akbar, but he cannot. He says to Akbar, Akbar, I wish to take your body back to the tents. Help me in just one small way, Akbar. Do one thing. Put your hands around my neck so I can take you back. Hazrat Ali Akbar has two hands on his chest. He takes one hand, puts it around the neck of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Hussein says, no, Akbar, put both your hands around my neck so I can lift you. Akbar looks at his father, he says, no, father, forgive me. If I remove this hand, you will not be able to look at what is underneath. You will not be able to see what is underneath this hand. Mawla Hussein says, Akbar, I have seen the arms of Abbas in the battlefield. I have seen the pieces of Qasim's body. Akbar, my young friend, my childhood friend Habib ibn Zahir, I saw him lose his life. I saw all Muhammad lose their lives. I saw John, I saw Habib, I saw everyone lose their lives. What is under your hand and you think I will not be able to look at it? Hazrat Ali Akbar, he removes his hand from his chest. What does Imam Hussein see? He sees a broken spear in the chest of Ali Akbar. Mawla Hussein alayhi salam, he looks at the spear. He puts one hand on the spear, one hand on the chest of Hazrat Ali Akbar. He goes to pull the spear, but he cannot. He goes to pull it, but he cannot pull the spear. At this point it is said, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he stands up. He's in the battle of Karbala. He's in the battlefield of Karbala. He stands up one time, he turns towards Najaf. He calls out, Ya Father Ali. He calls out, Ya Ali. It was easy for you to lift the gates of Khaybar.
Come see Hussein pull the spear out of the chest of Akbar. They say he then turns to Medina. He turns towards Medina. He calls out, Ya Rasulullah, come to the battlefield of Karbala. See what your Hussein is doing. He says, it is narrated, it is said at this point, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, facing towards Medina, he calls out, Ya Rasulullah, bring with you Prophet Ibrahim and Ismail. Let them see the sacrifice of Hussein. Nabi Ibrahim, he had his eyes blindfolded. Hey, Hussein looks at the wound on Ali Akbar's chest. Hazrat Ismail, he had his hands tied. Hey, Hazrat Ali Akbar's hands are gripping the sands of Karbala. Mawla Hussein, he takes the spear, one hand on Ali Akbar's chest. He calls out, Ya Ali Madad, pulls the spear. As he pulls the spear, Akbar starts to tremble. Akbar starts to shake. Blood spills out onto the sands of Karbala. With the spear comes out Hazrat Ali Akbar's liver. Imam Hussein looks at Hazrat Ali Akbar. One last line of Messiah. I could not recite anymore. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he takes the hands of Hazrat Ali Akbar. He wraps them around his own neck. He lifts Hazrat Ali Akbar with all the strength left in him. He comes back towards the battle, towards the tent. Whenever a shaheed was brought back from the battlefield, Imam Hussein would call out to the women and children before he arrived. When he brought back Hazrat Qasim, he called out, Zainab, go and hold them with Farwa. When he brings back Hazrat Ali Asghar, he calls out, Zainab, hold them with Rabab. When he leaves Hazrat Abbas, he calls out, Zainab, hold Kulthum. But now as Imam Hussein brings back the body of Ali Akbar, he calls out Layla, he calls out Rabab, he calls out Farwa, he calls out Fizza. Somebody hold Zainab! Somebody hold Zainab, I bring Ali Akbar back from them. ألا لعنة الله على قوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. Allah, we ask you to accept this small ibadah of ours. Allah, we ask you for all the Muslimin, Muslimat, Mu'mineen and Mu'minat around the world struggling, ease their pain and their problems. Allah, we ask of you to hasten the reappearance of the Imam of our time. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad sallallahu. We will ask every night for the men to remain seated while the women make their way upstairs, and then inshallah in a few moments we too will go upstairs and take part in the other of Imam Hussein. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.